got a report here for the Trinity River, and I'm with Lonnie Boles. He's our guy up there in that area up in Northern California on the Trinity, and we're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on in that local area for this period of time. How you doing, Lonnie?
Doing great. How are you doing today?
Fantastic. Looks like a really nice day up there today. That's sunny and bright and getting in here to summer. So kind of give me a little bit about the overall conditions of what's going on there in the area.
Yeah, we have a real nice day today. Very sunny. Just got done with some rain this weekend. The flows right now have been fluctuating a little bit coming out of Lewiston Dam. They're anywhere from, on a low today, they were at 432. On a high today, they're at 444. So they're a little bit below the 450 that they said that they're going to regulate through till October. The temp coming out of the dam right now is about 55 to 55 to 57 degrees. And then above the North Fork, the flows are up a little higher at 679, which is a great flow, but the temperatures with these warmer days are starting to rise a little bit. So we're seeing morning temps above the North Fork, about 30 miles below the dam at 58 degrees in the morning. And by afternoon, if we have a nice 80, 90 degree day, they're reaching up to about 67 or 68. So the water is warming up quite a bit.
Now, we had talked that the good temperature range there is going to be in the 50s, but that 60s starts to get too warm, and that could produce some moss or algae, as well as some mortality on catch and release and that kind of thing. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, the further down you go below the North Fork, the warmer the water is going to get. So you really have to watch out for the fish, because it's getting a little touchy down there, too warm. If you go up higher through Lewiston area, it stays colder. So the survival rate on the catch and release is going to be a lot better. Okay. Anything above the North Fork.
Okay, perfect. So that's good. Kind of gives us a little delineation there. And then, and then obviously you're talking a little bit weather-wise just in general, so it's starting to warm up a little bit here. What about things like hatches? Anything coming off, and what do you expect to see this time of year, and what is or isn't happening there on hatches?
Right now, things have slowed down with this weather we got. The hatches have been kind of slim to minimal. I'd say this 2 weeks right here till July is kind of slowed down quite a bit. So there's not really much happening as far as hatches.
Okay. What would, if you're coming up in this period of time, then what would be your advice to somebody to at least find the most success? Obviously things have kind of slowed down. How would you fish? Where would you fish? Just in sections. We don't want to talk about specifics, but just kind of river sections, and then how you would approach it.
I would, if somebody is fishing right now below Lewiston Dam in the fly water up there, there's still some fish up there, still some action in there. The water's still cold. Like I said, it's still in the 50s. So that section from Lewiston down to Douglas City area, that would be an area to concentrate on. And you're going to see, on the warm days, you'll well see some caddis coming off. The salmon flies that were coming off kind of just disappeared. They just nope, don't know where they went, but they're not here now. So, but there is some caddis coming off on that upper section of the river. Okay, good. All right, good to know. And then, do you expect things will be a little bit different than later in the summer, or in terms of those hatches? Yeah, I'm really kind of stoked on the July, starting in July. Don't really need the hatches because I'll start focusing on the Springer salmon run coming up.
Okay, so we're moving into the salmon run there, and so July 1 is that opener?
That's opener.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that salmon run then, and what you kind of how do you approach that?
That's a pretty fun time because when that's right at the start, the springers coming up are really grabby. As long as they stay chrome and they're fresh, they move up quick. They'll grab a fly really well on the spay. On indicator 2 in the deeper holes, once they start staging and stacking up a little bit. But basically down in this lower area, Junction City area, it's a great time of year to swing with the spay rod.
Fantastic. Now, Lonnie, are you drift boat as well as walk and wade there as guiding?
Yeah, it's drift boat and walk away. My normal day is in the drift boat, and I go from point A to point B, get out and wade and move on. With the salmon this time of year in the summertime.
Okay. So you're drift boat, but that's kind of getting you to spots, and then get out and wade, and then get back in, and you're off to the next kind of area that you get out. Is that kind of the idea?
That's this time of year. It's a little different program than it is, in the fall and the spring, wintertime. So
perfect.
A little more wading right now.
So if somebody comes up, then there is some potential for walk and wade on some access points, but obviously when you're in a drift boat, you're going to be able to cover more water and get to more points during the day. But you're kind of using those same tactics. Exactly
the same if you're using a vehicle. And I mean, the drift boat, I can cover more water, but the way this river is, the way it meanders down along through the road and everything on the lower end, you can kind of spot and fish, from the road, see fish, and then go down and work them. So that's pretty productive too, and a pretty fun way to go about your day.
Okay. And then when you're talking about on the and again, we're a little early for this, but we're talking, we'll catch with you again after that opener. But how are you targeting those salmon? Spay? You're talking about spay and swinging?
Yeah, swinging with the spay rod is probably one of my favorite ways to do it. Using string leashes, a variety of different colors. Salmon will hit the black and blues like the steelhead, but a lot of chartreuse and black works real well. Oranges. That's the fun. That's what I like to do. And you get later in like the middle of July, then you can get them when they start staging in the deeper runs on the indicator with nymphs and stuff like that.
Okay, so there's a little bit different tactics. So this will be really interesting to see how that kind of plays out, and we'll keep in touch with you to see kind of where you're at with that progression, right, during the summer, of how that kind of flows through. So fantastic. Let people know how they can get a hold of you. Sounds like a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun summer here with, and as soon as that, hopefully you have some dates that are opened up. How can people get a hold of you, Lonnie?
So you can contact me by cell phone. My number is 530-739-0444, or by email. It's fishflair.lb@gmail.com.
Fantastic. All right. Thanks a lot, Lonnie. Great report. Sounds like we've kind of got a little bit of lull right now, but things are close to kicking into gear. So if anybody wants to check that out, we have July 1st is when the salmon open up there on the Trinity, and Lonnie is a great resource up there for somebody that can put you onto those fish and obviously show a really good time, some fun tactics, and maybe learn some things too. So if you want to get a hold of him, he gave you his information. I'll put his contact information in the post as well, and then you can always get a hold of us here at the Backcast, and we'll get you in touch with Lonnie up there on the Trinity. And we'll see you right here next time on the Backcast.